Welcome to this lecture. So from this lecture onward, we'll just start making the malware, and basically we'll write in this Python shell. And in the upcoming lecture, we'll just make more advanced, or basically we'll just update this simple payload which we just write in this case. So let's start. So first of all, I'm in this client side that you can see. This is the Windows 10 machine. So what we are going to do is import some of the modules as always, and we'll just make a command that will be executed on the command line or a shell or a terminal based on your platform. So first of all, I'll just say something that is import me sub process, which is the module that is going to execute our command on the terminal. So we have done this in many time in the previous lecture, where we just made the backdoor or a reverse shell and we just executed it on the terminal. So first thing what I want to make here is the command that we are going to run. So in this case, I want to just get all the directory of the current location. I'm not using the OS module to get the path or anything. We'll just execute this command on the current location. So now let's make use of this sub process module, and here the method that I'm going to use is popen method, and we have used this method also in the previous lectures many times. So here I want to just pass this command that we want to execute, and it should be executed on this shell. So I'm just saying that execute this command as a process on this shell. So basically this popen is going to execute your command as a process, and it will just return the result in the same terminal. So we can see that we have just created this command. So this command, which is dir, is going to just list out all the directories of the current location. But if you want to execute some commands in the Linux or in the Mac OS X, then you can do something like ls ela. So this is going to list all of these files or a folder that is inside that current location. But now I am on this Windows, that means I have to do dir command. So you could see only based on this command it is going to execute on the shell. So this is the cross platform code where you can execute multiple commands based on your platform. If I do something like, let me say the ls or a, or you can also start with the sudo, and if you do this, then it is going to be the payload for the Linux. If you want to do for the Mac, it is the same. And if I do, that is another command, let me say give the message, and I want to just give the message as you have been hacked. So this message will be prompt on this machine, which is the Windows. So this is the payload that is not going to work on the Linux or Mac OS X, because this is the platform specific, this command. But the whole code or the payload is cross platform, but only the command which we just write here is your specific platform based. So if I just say directory, that is dir, this is not going to work on the Linux or Mac OS X, because we don't have any command that is dir in the Linux. You can also try it over there, but in the case of this command prompt, we can say, if I just say dir, it is going to list all the directories in the current location. So now let me save this. We have executed, or we have basically wrote our command or the simple malware over here. So what I need to do is simply I'll say this is the malware, and give the Python extension, go in the desktop, and I'll just save it here. If you are using the Mac OS X or Linux, then you can simply just change this command to your platform specific. So in order to execute this malware, all you need to do is again run your cmd. Let's navigate to the folder where this malware is stored, and in my case it is in the desktop. If I just list out the directory, you will see that it is over here with the name of malware. In order to execute that Python file, I'll just say malware.py. And now let me just hit enter. This is going to just list out all the directories over here, which is basically executing this popen command, and this will just execute that command and give us all the information of the current directories over here. So you could see how easy it is to execute the command on the shell. So you could wonder why this is the malware, or why it is called as a malware. Then we'll obviously modify this code in the upcoming lecture. Like, we can just get this information or this result of the command, and we can just send this back to the hacker. So one way can be done by the socket. We have already seen how to connect back to the server basically in the previous lecture. That's just building the socket communication through the host and a port, and basically server will listen to the port, and when there is a connection, then the result will be just sent back to the server. So that can be the one way. And the second way is to send to the Gmail. So in the upcoming lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to get some important information of this client, and we are going to just get that information and send that information to the Gmail. So we have to just configure the email, and we have to just get all this information or the critical information of this client, and we'll just send that to the hacker's Gmail. So that will be covered in the next lecture. So see you in the next one.